There was a time I used to have an aversion to the word crisis,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of us do. We hear the word crisis and we think, oh God. I actually have come to appreciate the word tremendously now for this reason, because if a crisis is present, if it's still present, it means we still have time to fix whatever it is that the crisis is calling our attention to. If the crisis is over, that means it's done. However it's going to be resolved, it's already happened, and there's really nothing we can do. So the fact that we are in multiple concurrent simultaneous crises right now, for me, is actually a good thing, because it means those crises are calling our attention to something that needs that attention. And now the choice is, will we recognize that, and will we embrace the fact that we are moving into a very different world?
Yeah.
I think probably the greatest crisis is the unspoken crisis, bigger than climate change, bigger than the potential war in the Middle East that I believe doesn't have to happen, and for very good reasons I think it won't. Bigger than all of those, I think, Jennifer, it's a crisis in thinking. Because until the people of the world have embraced the fact that the world of the past no longer exists, and are willing to embrace the solutions and the ideas that support the new world, it's going to be very, very difficult to move into that world. This is thing. The media has so trumped up the things that are broken, and really hasn't recognized a lot of very good things happening in the world. But the media has never come out and said, in a big way, BBC or CNN, a special, that the world of the past no longer exists. If we can do that in a broad general audience, to a broad general audience, then people can mourn the passing and let it go of a way of life. And without that, and I see these people every day of my life, there's a belief that the world was kind of chugging along. Everything was going well until something happened. For some people it was 9/11. For some people it was the economic crash in 08 and 09. But for those people, there's a sense that all we need to do is get through the difficult time and the world goes back to normal. And they're waiting for normal. They put their lives on hold. There are people that are waiting to have children. They're not creating their families because they're waiting for the world to get back to normal. Or people that have their career choices and their lives on hold, waiting for us to come down the other side of a speed bump and return to a world that no longer exists. And those are the people that are suffering. They're suffering right now because they're clinging to an idea of a world that served us. And I'm not going to judge as right, wrong, good, or bad. I have to say it worked so well, we're here. It got us here.
Right.
And now we know things now we didn't know in that world. And I think it serves us not to judge the past as a mistake or a good thing, but to say it was our path. And that we're on this huge learning curve. And now we know more than we have in the past. And with what we know, we can make new choices and move forward. And I think this is really the root of so much of the struggle people are having. Because the world is changing, the way we live our lives is changing. The way we've thought of money in the past is changing, but nobody's told us that. The way we've thought of jobs and careers and security. We no longer live in isolated nations, isolated economies. We don't have isolated resources. And it's very difficult for a single nation to make choices and decisions solely regarding their nation because we are so interconnected. For many people, they haven't really embraced this fact. We pushed globalism. The modern world pushed globalism on the world bought it. And now that the world bought it, we're in this together. That's why the thinking regarding how we go about creating solutions and embracing the new ideas, until that thinking is in place, I sense that is a great crisis that we're living right now.